Hello and welcome to April 15th, where we're reading Joshua 24 through Judges chapter 2. Now, when you get into this section, you end off with the death of Joshua at least a couple of times. You end up with his death in chapter 24, you end off with his death in chapter 1 of Judges, and in chapter 2 of Judges. He seems to die quite a bit, but there's a point to why God is re-emphasizing that over and over and over again. Joshua has been a beacon of light, a beacon of hope, a beacon of encouragement for the people of Israel throughout the conquest period, but now it's time for him to go. But now it's over. He's done. He's too old. He can't continue on. And so he hands over his faith to them if they will take it. Unfortunately, as Judges reveals, they will not take it. And so we'll rehearse some of the bad things that they do, leading to a downward spiral that we'll cover throughout the rest of this week and even into next week as well. If you're interested in a more detailed breakdown of each of these individual chapters, Joshua 24 is pretty famous. It's where Joshua says in verse 15, "As for me and for my house, we will serve the Lord." But it seems that he says that because they were following idols. They had moved into the land of Canaan. Israel had moved into this new land, and they'd started picking up the gods of this new land and worshiping those gods. Joshua says, no, God is real. The real God, the Lord God, he is the real one. You worship him. You worship him alone. He put you here. Don't go over to the idols. Don't go over to what is evil. But they do. Joshua dies at the end of chapter 24, and everybody else associated with him dies, everyone of his generation, and by the time you get to Judges chapter 1, all of the older generation is dying, and Judges chapter 1 records the failures of the people. It goes back to kind of Joshua 14 in a way, going back to the early chapters when the land of Israel was given to the people of Israel to finish conquering the individual pieces of it. I think that's Judges 13 or Joshua 13, something like that. It goes back to that time period, and Judah goes out and conquers most of their land, and Manasseh goes out and conquers most of their land, and Ephraim goes out and conquers most of their land, but not all of it. And so you see the beginning of the downfall of Israel. They were mostly faithful, but not entirely. And that will continue to eat away at them as they go throughout this book. Judges 2 is a challenge of God. God, the angel of the Lord, he comes down and he attacks Israel. He just questions them. What is going on? Why are you not faithful? Why not be faithful? You've seen the results of being faithful to the Lord. Why are you ignoring that? Why are you fighting me? Why are you pursuing all these other things? Israel doesn't have an answer, but they keep on doing the same old things. And so God will have to punish them for their evil. And that's what the rest of the book of Judges is about. If you want more details, they're over on the written page. You can go and check out the notes over there. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow, April 16th, where we're reading Judges 3 through 5.